So he's having like a lot of conflicts in his mind and in his being, because this is the top card representing what is going on in his head. And it's showing that in this picture, this woman is having a headache. She's waking up from a bad dream and being, oh, how can this be, you know? So something about the way he thinks or the way he understands the world is giving him a recurring nightmare every single night. This is metaphoric, okay? It just means that, like you say, he's rebelling or he doesn't want to go to school. So this is what's causing it, is that something is blocking him.
Maybe it's a communication problem from his mates in school, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, we don't know, or at least I can't really tell what this is, but it's in line with finding more about what he's going through, right? So each of these sort of gives a little aspect of that part of his life.
Okay.
So in the future, he has the potential of becoming someone, you know, at least maybe in the realm or the trait that he chooses to be, and people will recognize him for his ability
Wow.
one way or another. But in order to reach that, he has to be able to reconnect back with his past. He has to be able to reconnect with what he was sort of like born with, higher ability to do certain things than other people. Whereas if you see here, another interesting thing, wow, this is slightly advanced. I don't even know how it's gonna come out on video. Another fun thing I love about a Celtic spread, well, fun as in also useful, is that you can read it vertically and horizontally. So if you look here, you're looking at the foundation, mentality, and the middle card representing who he's going through. So here it shows that there is a sort of like an illusion, right? So on one hand, he's happy about his current situation now, but at night he's having trouble sleep because he's worried about the future. But he's happy now because he's not in school or whatever, as you mentioned. I haven't met this person, but it seems like I'm starting to see a bit more of him now. And this also comes from the fact that he's quite, like, maybe even slightly pampered in the family.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, who could say, like, oh, I don't want to go to school and just not go to school? That doesn't happen. That rarely happens. So that's on one aspect. I'm going to move this away, and now I'm going to put this now. So horizontally, we see that to change this temporary, like, happiness, which is this way, temporary happiness, into a long-term happiness, is to bridge the gap between his original ability and to become, you know, someone who's like well respected and also like an expert in a specific field that he likes. Then that way, the happiness is more long term as opposed to being just temporary. Moving on, the Two of Wands. One thing that's really preventing him from moving too much is that he's always sort of like a looker, I guess. Maybe is he more introverted?
Yes.
Okay, so he rather stay in one place and look into the ocean and look for the ship as opposed to swim to the ship. So that could be something that's hindering him from reaching the emperor. It's just that. Another reason other than this is because he's not really that keen to make a move himself. And on the outside, it seems that he always feels that other people are much better than him, or this could represent a specific masculine figure in his life that is academically more superior. It could represent his, I don't know if he gets bullied in school or anything like that, but it could
possible.
Yeah, but it could represent people around him. He feels that everyone is sort of telling him what to do and that they're in a better situation than him, and he feels intimidated, so he just rather stays where he's most comfortable in. The advice here, once again very interesting, is reconciliation, meaning he has to go back to who he used to be, which is here. He has to meet back with his old self in terms of what he would like to do and continue building on those skills. So it's not so much about, oh, you have to go to
I remember he likes food.
food. Okay, so let's say, well, he loves eating or he loves cooking.
Cooking.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, so let's say hypothetically he likes cooking. So he should go back into, you know, figure out new recipes and tinkering maybe different types of spices or sauces, and just cook very often. At first he can cook for his family, he can cook for his friends. He doesn't necessarily need to go to school to cook. He can just cook. He can have a part-time job or full-time job as a cook as well. So this opportunity to meet back with his past, if his passion is with cooking.
Yeah.
It could also represent other things.
Other stuff.
Okay, so once again, the moon. At the moment, it's really not possible to tell what his sort of like end result would be if he were to follow this narration, or along the ways, like now that you understand what he's going through, where you want to go in and sort of help him. We don't know what's going to happen, but it definitely would be different from the situation here. Because behind the moon, there's a sun. It's kind of like subtle, but you see like,
Yes.
this is the sun. The sun is behind the moon.
Yes.
So it's about moving the moon away and bringing the sun in. So moving past his illusion so that he can bridge back this connection. Okay, that's the end. So do you have any questions about reading? Is it necessary to do an additional add-on, or you want to discuss anything in particular here?
Because if I suggest him not to go back to school and then go to university, it will be very rebellious of me to do so. So I still wonder if I really should continue just suggest him do what he wants to do.
Well, the tarot, once again, is suggesting him. So I guess where you could come in as well is sort of guide him to find out what he really is passionate about in his life, or what he used to be before, being told what to do.
Sometimes when I ask him, he said, I don't know.
He says that because he's in a culture whereby you're not really allowed to do what you're interested in. Because what you're interested in maybe doesn't make enough money. Maybe it's not a well-respected job, or all kinds of things, right?
Yeah. So what can I do about it? Just suggest him what he can do?
Well, I mean, the tarot has already given you a better understanding of who he may be and how he's feeling at the moment, right?
Okay.
So from there, what you can do...
Can you take one card to...
Sure, you can take one card if you want.
Okay. I feel that I'm very cautious about this reading. Yes. No, it means that I should indicate him.
You should tell him what he needs to do, but in a way that he sort of also agrees with you. So how he can do so is by, once again, connecting these two together. So if I take these cards away, which are more of the hindrances.
Okay.
Alright guys, you're very lucky because you get to experience some creative tarot ad hoc spreads. So now I moved off the stuff, I kept part of the spread, but what you could definitely do to help out a lot is to sort of bridge this connection for him. Once again, his past creativity and passions, realizing a longer term happiness, becoming really good at what he does, becoming a king, and having that connection once again. And then if we move this here, where you could follow is kind of like you can be the motherly figure. Not so much on like being supportive and letting him do whatever he wants, because if that's the case, he's just gonna be like not in school and not working for a very long time. But rather tell him what he has to do, but giving him a different direction. Let's say everyone tells him to do this. You can just tell him to do something else.
Does it maybe mean that I should talk to his mom?
No.
Okay.
Because what would that achieve?
His mom might support him? I don't know.
Because you're asking what you can do.
Okay, but...
So this is you. This is not... But it's up to you. I mean, like, if you feel that's the what you want to take, then talk to his mom. And if you're successful, then good for you. So you're very sure that if you talk to his mom, he's going to have a beautiful future because she's going to listen to you?
No, I don't know.
So that's why this is not his mom. This is you.
Combine something. We'd better find out a way that's compromising everybody's interest. But not his.
It's about being a role model, So this is a motherly figure. It doesn't mean you're actually the mother.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to teach his mother how to teach his own son, that's also very disrespectful in the culture.
Role model means...
Role model means you lead by example. You inspire people to be able to reach what they can become. Kind of the same reason why I do, tarot readings for people, is I want to inspire them to live out the most of their life, to realize their dreams.
I'll see.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.